What time is it? It's journey time, and time for another creative journey using Stampin' Up products. Hello, my name is Kathy Haynes, and today we're going to create this fun little card. It could be a thank you card, a birthday card, thinking of you card, using the new, the Grassy Grove bundle. It's going to be in the new annual catalog also that starts in May. So it is carrying over. And I'm excited about that. So we're going to use the stamp set as well as the die cuts that come with it, which are adorable. And we're going to use the little tiny deer. That's the tiniest deer in the set. So that's this one right here. And I just wanted to show you before we get started, this is what we're going to start with. But it starts with putting the tree die cut on a cutout piece of paper, because if you don't cut out that paper, what you're going to get is something like this, which is fantastic, but you just put a color behind it. But see, it doesn't cut out a shape, so it's not a rectangle die cut that will get you this piece, which actually makes it more versatile. So it's a really, really fun. This is great for a snow scene, for a winter card, I think. And I can think of a lot of other things you can do with it. So this is basically what we're going to start with. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, let me put that off to the side. I'm going to open my stamp pad. I wanted to show you too what I've started doing, but I've started using just the blank piece. But if you ever notice that sometimes when you open the stamp set and there's a bunch on the table, without this you can't really tell what color it is, and this is kind of hidden or pointing the other direction, and it's hard to tell. So on the back you have the different languages, but you also down here have a blank one. So I like to use my pick a tool and pull up that strip, and then I just put it here on the right side. This one I did with the words, but normally I just put the blank strip, and that way while it's laying on the table you can still see what color it is. So I think that's a fun little tip. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to take our die cut out, and we want to color in all the branches. And see, there's some that hide up here and stuff, so let me go ahead and get busy on that. And what I'm going to use is, this is, trying to read the name, it says Mocha. So this is actually an older, it's a Blendabilities that I brought with me in here. But it will work just the same. I did use, I think, soft suede or something else. But basically, I'm going to start with my brushy end. And I just want to, like I said, this is really old. I just had the newer one out. But it still works, and these have to be at least 10 years old. But any brown will do. And then I'm going to do the bigger trunks first and get them all colored up. And then I'll go back in with the smaller nib and get, see, so it really doesn't take much time. You know, you can decide what color you want to use. And this is the last big trunk. All right, so now there are some smaller areas in here that I would use the smaller nib for. So even all the way up here, and just color those in, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, there's a little piece right there. Coloring in coloring books when I was young was like a big deal. Getting a new coloring book was something. I'd sit down and remember the Flintstones and the Jetsons, Gilligan's Island. So I'm dating myself, yes. So basically, I think that's it. But if I see any more as we go along, I'll kind of fill it in. But you just want to get the tree separated from the trees. Now I'm going to take some old olive, and I'm going to brush them on. Now I always say to use either a craft mat or a piece of acetate or window sheet behind when you are brushing, because you reuse the ink. It doesn't soak into the thing. So on this one, I'm just going to go in there and throw a bunch of green on there. Now you could also, like the last one I'll show you, I used Tranquil Tide, which was more of a bluish green, and it kind of gave it a really unique kind of a vintage. I like Victorian style colors, so the greenish blue and the green. And so now this is just giving it some depth. See the difference? Okay, and wasn't that easy? All right, and the next thing we did on this one, you'll see I just put a piece of the Marbleous DSP behind it, but I thought this time I might sponge on some green on the bottom and see how that looks. So get my craft sheet back, decide which end I want for the top. I think that end. And I'm just going to put a little bit so that it has like a transition between the sky. Alrighty. Now the next thing I do, I have my little deer. Now a lot of times I put another deer on top to make it sturdier, but this time we're just going to put this like this. So how's that going to look? I like that. What do you think? All right. I like it with a little bit of grass. So you can decide the clean and crisp or this one that kind of fades into it. Now I'm going to build my card. So to start with, I have my base and my Balmy Blue paper. So I'm going to stamp my base first. I always stamp before I put my base to my card, or I try to remember to, because how many times have you got it all together, then you stamp the sediment inside and it was crooked? Now you have to tear your whole card apart. So I think it's better just to use some black Meadow and just put this, that's all I did was put this down inside. Press. Give it time to soak in, and there you go. Okay, now let me build my card. I'm simply going to attach the Balmy Blue to the soft suede using adhesive. I'm using Tombow. And yes, I just did my first video yesterday since the barn fire. And now I'm doing another one today because I have a lot of videos to catch up on, folks. So I am going to be busy. So now I want to lay this right about, I just want to double check where I'm going to put it, because this is going to be centered. So I know I'm going to down a little bit more and make sure just down here at the bottom, the top doesn't matter because the Balmy Blue fades into it and you won't notice it. So this is where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue here. All right. And then put this in, put my glue there. All right. So I just want, I'm adhering that directly to the Balmy Blue. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Mossy Meadow. It's called Mossy Meadow. Got to get to the English. Braided linen trim. And I just want to put this out of the way around here. Now, the good thing to do is just put a little bit of adhesive on the back. It kind of holds it down. Or you could use tear tape, which is actually a better idea. But I just like to have it just kind of there so I can work on it and it's not running all around, falling off the bottom and everything. Does that make sense? Bring it over here. Get my scissors, cut this off here. And I just want to tie a knot on one end. All right. Hold it down and tie my knot. You might want to do a ribbon. I pulled that too tight. There, loosen it up. Pull it a little tighter. Then snip. Snap. Now the smart thing to do at this point is to put a little glue dot underneath. Now I love these glue dots that came with the paper pumpkins. Just put it on there. So if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you know you get glue dots as adhesive. You just have to pull the little cover off and push that on there, and that way I know it's going to stay. Then I kind of frayed, well, I thought it was going to stay. There we go. Let's try one more. Okay, stay right there. Push and pull. Come on. Okay, now stay there. All right. And we got that. And you can fray the edges a little bit. I'm not going to do it right now because I obviously have no small motor dexterity today. There we go. I just like the looks of that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pop it up. So we're going to use dimensionals. And I put one in each corner. And this will also help secure. That one may show. Let's just try that. And then one over here. You can always use a mini dimensional, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to leave that right now. I'm always nervous about time because some people just do not like longer videos. Some people don't mind. I just fast forward through the parts I don't like or that I don't feel I need to watch. Okay, now we're just going to line that up right there, and that, see, that just gives it some dimension. All right, now we're going to find our little deer. Oh dear. And we're going to pop him up. Now he definitely needs a mini. So let me go ahead and grab these minis. I found them over here. It's a mini black, as a matter of fact, which is perfect. So I'm just going to put a black mini right on him or her. And I'm going to place her right there. Isn't that cute? All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to make some twine. So what I did ahead of time so that it had time to dry is I made some old olive twine out of the linen thread. And how I did that, let me cover up this ink really quick. How I did that is I took the old olive pad, whoop, oh, there's another one. You can see in there, and a sponge, and you simply take your thread or twine that's a light color or white, and you pull it through rather slow, and then you just pull it through a couple of times until you're happy with the color. See that? So that you can have matching twine and or ribbon. I do that to ribbon too, so always buy the light colored ribbons, whether it's white or ivory, that you can make into any color you want to use. So this is what I found is the easiest way for making that loopy twine that everybody uses. I'm going to put a large glue dot, or you could put several mini glue dots from Stampin' Up. I'm going to put it right there. I really am. Doesn't want to stick because it's still wet from sponging. Good. Come on, come on. It says, just say no. There we go. Okay, now if I can get my finger off of there. Okay, so I'm going to try using some of the mini glue dots because this must have sat in the sun or something and it's not working. So let me put a few. One. Nothing wants to stick to that because it's still wet and I don't have time to dry it. So let me... Okay, well that is the best way to do it, but here's the alternative. You can take a dimensional and put it down, and then simply take your twine. Now imagine that there's a large glue dot there after this had dried. It's just too wet. And you just make little loops like this. And come on. However you want them. Definitely not as good as when you use a glue dot. Possibly the glue dot will stick to this now. Stick to the glue dot. Or the dimensional. Nope. Okay, you guys. So, watch that idea. Let me try it one more time. Because it's such a good... I'm going to show you on here how it works. So here you have your glue dot. And you've pushed it on a piece of paper. So I'm going to push it on this piece of paper that's dry. See how easy that is? And then you simply take your twine and you put it down, loop it. See how easy that is? See, I'm not crazy. It really is a great technique. And then however you want your loops to be, because eventually at the end you're going to cut off the excess, and then you're going to put your flap on top of it. All right. And so that's exactly what I planned to do. However, it just didn't want to work. And that would go up there in the corner. So we're just going to skip that and go straight to the banner. And let me grab my banner piece. And like I said, you can decide if you want to make this a happy birthday, thanks so much card, whatever you want it to be. So I did a happy birthday already, so I think I'm going to make this one a thanks so much, or vice versa. I did a thanks so much. I'm going to make this one a happy birthday. So note yourself, let this dry before you go. You don't realize how much moisture is in the ink. I'm going to put that right off to the side. You know, and I save all these little strips when I'm cutting paper and you have a little piece left over. I always save those. Let me cut it off here. Cut it in here, right in the middle. Snip. And a snip. And then I want to pop that up with Pop Dot. I also want to sponge this just a little bit. So just using the extra ink that's already on there. And now let me cover up my ink, put it away. And I'm going to grab a Pop Dot. Yes, I've exploded over here, you guys. And I'm going to put two. One on the end and one on this end. Okay, and I like to just bend it a little. I want to give it a little bit of, you know, depth. Push it together a little tiny bit before you put this on. So put one end down and then push it up just a little bit before you push the other one down, just to give it a little bit of depth. See that? And then imagine that I had this really cute twine that I just made, or linen thread, underneath it like this one. Okay, so things don't always work out perfect. You have to be flexible. Now we're just going to add, here's our card base that we already stamped, and we use our Tombow. So this is really a quick and easy card. There we go. Tombow gives you time to adjust. Press it. And there we go. What do you think? So I just love it. It's just kind of woodsy, kind of, to me, Victorian style, doing the shading in the back. And that Marbleous paper is to die for. So once again, we used it on the video I made yesterday, but when the Sale-A-Bration has free DSP, you have to know that Stampin' Up's DSP is amazing. So I always try to stock up on it. So I hope you enjoyed this creative journey. I hope you'll hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, let me know what you thought. And if you hit the subscribe button right over here, you'll know every time I upload a video. But one more thing I kind of wanted to make really clear, because a lot of people don't know where it's at, but if you look down below, there'll be a little description with maybe 3 or 4 sentences. Right under those is a little word or a couple of words that says see more. If you click on see more, you will get the full description of the card, all the dimensions, and links to the products that I used. So I hope you're not missing out on that. And also, when you're on my channel, be sure to hit the videos tab so you can see all the videos I've made, not just the most recent or the most popular that they list on the main page. So again, hit the videos tab and you'll see right now, I think there's like 40 some videos, and hopefully we'll get that going up soon now that I'm back on track. Once again, thank you for taking the time to join me on this creative journey. I hope you enjoyed this card. It's really simple, but I think it really makes a statement and shows that you care. So have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.